Hello everyone, this is Tim, and today I'm going to talk about how I love botches, critical failures, fumbles, and any other term you can think of from various RPGs to describe really bad things happening to characters. And this just isn't me from a GM or DM perspective. When I'm a player, I love these moments as well. I love to see how the chaos of the dice affects the story, affects the characters. Maybe it's because my own life has been fraught with, terrible things from time to time, but when I play a game like that, I like to see how the characters survive that instance, how they can bounce back and continue down the path of their life after that traumatic event. It's interesting to see, how that changes them, how it changes the character, how it changes maybe the player's perspective of that character. What happens after that event that they can look back and say, that event changed me. It twisted me, or it pushed me down a path that I had never planned. You know, I've heard the joke, how do you make the god or the gods of your setting laugh, and that is to make a plan. The chaos of these dangerous places that we adventure in, that we explore in, have a way of changing and molding us, tormenting us, corrupting us from within. Watching your character crumble or achieve greatness, but perhaps have regrets and things that they're not so proud of that they've done to get to that point. But there's lots of games out there, be it some of the games that use a d20. If you roll a 1, something really bad could happen. In World of Darkness, when you botch, when you have more, failures than you do successes, and that's like Old World of Darkness. They seem to have gotten away from these aspects in games and the more modern incarnations of things. And I think that's a shame. maybe I am the old Viking hat wearing grognard or whatever, but I like to see those moments in games. I like that they're a possibility, that the game itself can represent the failures that happen in real life, the tragic moments, the unforeseen things that just blindside you. And I think it's kind of a shame that they're finding their way out of games. It could also be said that people don't want to have such traumatic things happen to them in a game, where you're playing a fantasy character. Maybe things like World of Darkness that have more despair and darkness. Those sort of things seem to fit better. Games like Wraith, but I miss them. I miss seeing those tables, those fumble tables uh, that were in Rollmaster and games like that. And that, I guess, probably is a little bit of nostalgia on my part. When I read through like Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, I miss that sort of element there, that element of risk and danger. There seem to be a lot of rules and things set up so that there's less danger, that there's a lot more second, third, and fourth chances, those sorts of things. But I'm coming to realize that, again, I like different games for different reasons. And just because the newer games are doing away with fumbles and critical failures and those sorts of things doesn't mean that I have to stop playing my older games. So it's just one of those things. I can either house roll the new games or play the new games for a specific type of campaign, like, more powerful, almost superhero type fantasy, perhaps, or whatever, system you're talking about. And then I can go back to my tried and true methods, the games that I grew up with, the ones I understand, the ones that have a little bit more danger and the risk of death and dismemberment. I've never actually got a chance to play Warhammer. Got to do that, I think. I've heard a lot of great things, and I think it will sort of jive with my sort of sensibilities when it comes to games like that. But what do you guys think? What do the guys and ladies out there think about critical failures, fumbles, botches, just calamity happening to your character when you're playing them, or when you are GMing and you watch those things happen? I have heard, I believe, a lot of people say that they do away with those kind of situations. They hand wave them. let's not pay attention to the dice. But the older I get, the more I am, I guess, a slave to the dice. I follow the chaotic dragon wherever it leads and watch as the story emerges from the table and the chaos and choices that are made. And sometimes the dice screw you, and that's okay. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you all later.